everyone, this is Carolyn Goodman, and I'm Mayor of Las Vegas. And I'm so happy to tell you we are open for business. It's time for us to get back to our God-given rights as Americans to drink, to smoke, and to gamble away our money. And we're here to help you. We've got poker games, we've got slot machines, we've got the strip open, and we will accept government stipend checks. That's the American way. So come out and have fun with us. And we will be very mindful of hygiene protocol. When you get a lap dance on the strip, all of our new dancers will be wearing masks. So come out, celebrate. Cheers.
It's Laughing Through It with Carol Metcalf-Roth. Tonight, Carol Zooms with actor, producer, and writer Maija Di Giorgio, international comic and film director Keith Michael Ashton, and actress, director, and international opera singer Deborah Bertling. And now, here's Carol.
Hi, I'm Carol Metcalf-Roth, and welcome to Laughing Through It. Thank you for tuning in today. And yes, we are going through some difficult times right now, but let's try to come together and laugh. And on that note, I just want to let you know that we're in the middle of a pandemic and protesting, and the mayor of Las Vegas, Carolyn Goodman, made sure that we knew that Las Vegas is open, ready to go. You can come down and you can do your God-given rights to drink and gamble away your futures. We do accept government spending checks, so all of you come on out. And I do want to say this. We are watching our protocol on health issues. All of our nude dancers will have masks on. So don't worry about that. On more ridiculous news, our president took it upon himself to appear in front of the National Cathedral with a Bible upside down. Pretty well describes the administration upside down. Now, you probably noticed he ended it pretty quickly, and I'll tell you why. Because if you probably noticed, there was some background noise, and that was my Texas Pentecostal granny rolling over in her grave. You know what, little darling, I'm going to tell you this right now. Those are some of the biggest lies ever belched out of the back alleys of hell. And then there were phones going off everywhere, and finally somebody took a phone over, and it was Jesus calling and said, "Who is this man?" But other than that, we're all coming together, and I feel like that as a nation, we need to laugh right now more than ever. And I want to just welcome you to the show and also introduce you to some of the people behind me who are working with me. And on that note, I'd like to have you meet my producer, Dr. Bernard Roth.
Yay.
Or as I call him, Big Daddy. Hi, Big Daddy. He'll bring me a cocktail.
Hey, honey.
Hi,
yes,
honey.
I'm really pleased to be here. You know, for everybody who's watching in on this episode, you know, you've already found Carol Metcalf-Roth's channel, the Laughing Through It channel on YouTube. If you like this and you want to be part of this in the future, please subscribe to Laughing Through It, and you'll get notification every time we have a new episode. So thanks a lot, everybody.
Yeah, thanks, cutie. And also my wonderful director, Justin Gunn. Now, woohoo! I love it. He always has a different backdrop. We're either
coming from the Laughing Through It World Broadcasting headquarters here. Wonderful.
That's right.
Yeah, strange times indeed, but you know, with a little laughter, we will get through it. So have a great show, Carol.
Okay, thank you, Justin.
Cheers.
Now, I want to tell you, I have a really great panel tonight. We're going to have some different topics we're going to discuss. And so let me tell you who's going to be with me. We're going to start out with the amazing, beautiful, very talented woman, Maija Di Giorgio. She is an fabulous comic and also a filmmaker. Hi, Maija, and welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. This is wonderful.
And also, we're going to have on our panel tonight, Keith Michael Ashton. Again, a wonderful comic and a producer. Hi, Keith.
Hey, you. Thanks for the nice introduction. I appreciate it. And thanks for inviting me.
You are welcome. And last but not least, Deborah Bertling. Deborah Bertling is like a sister to me. She's from Santa Barbara, too. She's a wonderful singer. She's an actress. And she's also a civil activist, and she helps kids get an education that they need. So thank you for coming out tonight, Deborah, and engaging in this with us, all right?
Oh, I'm so glad to be here.
Yes, that's right. Well, I've got two beautiful women, all right? Absolutely gorgeous. Right, Keith? That's right, three. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. And also to start the show, Big Daddy's bringing me a cocktail. Is that all right?
There you go.
As we sit here and discuss. And so I'm going to, I told everyone over the break you could have a glass of wine while we're sitting here and we're chatting.
There you go.
And you see, we have,
good martini.
We have hygienic protocol.
The doctor's in the house.
That's right. Always with his mask and the rubber gloves. But did I mention he's a germaphobe and he's a scientist? It's always this way. Please help me. I've been in lockdown for 9 years. Please help me, Maija. You know, Deborah, you've witnessed it. So, cheers.
There we go.
Cheers.
There we go. Cheers.
All right. Isn't that yummy? I have a grapefruit cocktail. So this is fantastic. A grapefruitini. That's right.
There you go.
Well, anyway, I wanted to thank everybody for coming on. It was a difficult decision for me to have a comedy show during the pandemic and also the protests. But I thought we should all come together and discuss. I was just going to ask you, because a lot of my fellow comics have been saying, I don't know if I feel comfortable using humor right now. So my question is, have you been using humor to help people get through this pandemic right now and the look at the discrimination that is real in society right now?
Yeah, actually, this is actually a very comfortable space for me to work in.
Right.
Because of being biracial and people also not knowing who I am when I show up to a gig. So lots of times it becomes surprise, surprise. And I just had a discussion with some people that are interested in my show that I do an hour piece that I've been doing at theaters, even down in Soho at the Here Theater in Soho, which is called Incognito. And while I was running the show, white people were very concerned about ordering tickets because they couldn't say the name of the show. And I was like, do I change the name of the show? They were this crazy that they couldn't, and then I had one comic didn't want to go on before my show. He had to call his black roommate and see if I checked out, and Chef follows family members online. Like he didn't approve, but I think that's between him and his roommate. I don't think that has his roommate playing. So for me, it's been a sweet spot for me because I actually was able to go through my show Incognito, where people are talking about looking at it. What can we do now with the show? And I don't have to water it down. So this is actually a great time, and people are actually asking and looking me up and looking for more messages. So I'm grateful.
Well, thank you, Maija. That was beautiful. Now I'm going to tag on you, Mr. Keith Michael Ashton. I'm going to ask you the same question.
I'll be honest with you. When we started to stay at home, I didn't feel funny at all. Well, honestly, I was feeling funny. It took me a while to get back in my groove. And I felt that I saw a lot of funny things on social media. Right. It's hard to be original. But I was watching some old videos of Dick Gregory, and just seeing what he did, during the 50s and the 60s. And it reminded me, even though I know it's very important to be funny right now because people need laughter, I just couldn't find it. But by watching some of his documentaries, it reminded me how it's very, very important to plug in and to read and watch and to express yourself, because
Right.
even if you don't know what's funny, if you just speak about what's common, a lot of people can relate to that. And that could be the first step towards making something hilarious.
So this has been a long time in coming, and I wanted to kind of put this out to you and Maija, that I feel like that maybe this is a time in America, because of the pandemic and we've all been isolated, we could really say, okay, here's the real deal, and we're going to deal with it.
It's actually the perfect storm for people to stop. I think the pandemic has forced people to look at their priorities, check on their family, check on their family members, check on friends,
Right.
people they love, and say, well, let me stop just thinking about me, and how can I add to the thought of the world? Because there are so many people that have passed away.
Right.
I've lost some friends.
Yes.
And it's been an interesting time, because it becomes like, who do I want to be, and what message do I want to shape? And,
Right.
instead of feeling insecure about jokes that have depth, I can feel like, oh, now I should be using these. There's, what is your art for? So that's kind of how I feel.
Thank you. I'm going to tag on to you, Deborah Bertling. And, I've asked my two comic friends, well, you're a wonderful performer. You are right up there with one of the, I think, the best singers I've ever heard in my life. And you've made me cry with some of the songs that you have sung as in operas. And how has this affected you? And we were talking about the comfort level of using humor. Is it okay to use it right now? And how have you used it?
Well, I think if we don't have a sense of humor, no matter what's going on in the world, we are sunk. There's no way to get to life without a good sense of humor.
Yep.
Right.
And I appreciate people who can find humor even in the darkest things, because we need to find the levity. And it's been tough, I will admit, because everything in my social life has been decimated, including karaokeing with Carol.
Oh, no! That's right.
And there are no gigs, no concerts are happening, no plays,
Yes.
nothing brings people together to share that experience of inspirational performances.
Yes.
So, there's stuff online. It's not like being online is the worst thing in the world, but I'm kind of getting tired of that. I'd really like to get back to being in a room where you hear the people laughing, or you hear them breathing and sighing, or even crying through a performance. That I miss terribly, and I want to get back to it. But in the meantime, I've had wonderful time with my husband. We've had a lot, and that's a rich, wonderful thing. And then it's also kind of a funny thing. Because he travels a lot. He's in and out of town, so now he's home all the time. So in order to relax, he has found soaking in a bathtub works for him. Watching old movies with me, like he doesn't know 007 very well, so we've been catching up with some and we watched Goldfinger a couple weeks ago. We watched Goldfinger. He had never seen Goldfinger.
Wow.
How can you be?
Are you kidding?
Right? So
Wow.
when the character Pussy Galore is introduced hanging out of the side of the plane, he laughed out loud. He's like, oh my God, her name is Pussy Galore. He had never heard of Pussy Galore. I could not believe that.
I kind of want to throw this in. Do you think it's right to make fun of the president right now, like I did?
Who do you want to go first?
Maija, you want to go first, baby? Oh, Deborah's got her hand up. All right.
I'm talking to
All
you.
right.
I'm just going to say, I don't think we need to make fun of the president all the time. He does such a good job of it himself. What can you say after some of the things that come out of his mouth? Not much. I think that listening, paying attention, and then finding ways to counteract the chaos is probably better. But I realize that in the true spirit of satire, we have to find ways to make fun of people in leadership. We do it as a culture. We do it all.
Sometimes I speak to a female and she'll tell me that, let's say she's studying film or whatever it is, and she has a professor, and he's complimenting her and he makes her feel great.
Great.
So he's married, and all of a sudden he makes a pass at her, and also she's now, whoa, what does that mean he was lying to me? So it really messes with your head. When people cross that line sometimes, and it can be really damaging. Very damaging.
Well, and it's like a strange mixed message.
Right.
And that we espouse in our society. We've learned, we have a higher, learning, we're trained. We have religion, whatever, and then that happens. And, as a blonde, I get the dumb blonde stuff a lot. Or, well, what do you know? Well, I may look this way, but I'm smart.
Sure.
So then you get that kind of a prejudice. You walk in the room, oh. I can always hear the oh.
Half the comedy shows I go to, people think I'm the agent.
I
came up through, I did Def Jam and BET, 2 BETs, 2 Apollos. I walk into a place and everyone's like, so you're the agent? Oh, there's no way you're funny. And I said, no, I'm the comedian. And then they look. I think, look, I've kind of been in the middle of every bit of mess. And it was funny because I was working with Sinbad last year a lot on the road. And he was like, boy, you got it bad. You got women hating, you have white women, you have problems with white people, you have problems with black people, you have problems with black women, you have problems with white women, you have problems I have problems with absolutely everybody. And I, the confusion of if somebody likes me because he hits on me because he's married is the least of my. First of all, I was funny. I literally they had no good hair products for me, so I was like with a giant unbalanced afro that nobody can control in a white school. My parents were married when it was illegal in 17 states, and then people were like, so I was running and getting beat up by the white boys in the neighborhood every single day. So I never thought I was beautiful. I couldn't go to the prom. Nobody liked me till the day I taped my Def Jam because I borrowed some of my sister's clothes, got a new hairdresser, and everyone was like, oh, we like you. I was like, then I was like, well, I don't trust any of you. So then I took off. But then I've had things where I've lost jobs. See, I think that's the hardest thing. You have a scenario where you're doing a job and guys are talking about. I was on a radio and I had the #1 radio job in the country, and my co-host who had a big name. He was talking about raping me on the air. He'd shut off my microphone. He told an audience of like 5,000 people that I sucked his what to get my job and on the stage. It was insane. And he would shut off my mic. We'd go into meetings and he'd have like porn playing in the back. It was nonstop. And then you say something and then they know they have a problem, but then you say something, then eventually like, well, he's got more money, so we're going to fire you.
Now that kind of opens the door to one of the last topics is, during this pandemic, how do you feel like that you have connected with yourself and got to really know yourself?
So my thing is, if I can come in and bring light, then that will inspire me to get up every day and go back in there and hit my head against the wall.
I like to run. I like to do things. I'm always running. So having to stay at home, I had to slow down. And it was good because I think I learned to appreciate myself more. I also got to clean out things in my apartment, start cooking some more, sitting down and enjoying movies.
I got Bernie to do that. So.
Lucky you, I know.
Hey, Daddy!
I know, you're very fortunate. And I live by myself, so it's really, it's funny, most of us are smarter and better prepared than we give ourselves credit.
That's a profound thing you just said.
Yeah, I mean, we try, we ask people, we want this, we want that.
Right.
And sometimes you got to be forced to kind of go, okay, it's just me here. So let me slow down.
Right.
Patience to read or whatever I need to do to resolve whatever is on my mind. So I was very thankful for this time. Again, these are really crazy times in terms of uncertainty. So it really forces you to get stronger mentally. And and all due respect to President, it's easy to try not to kind of don't want to be engaged. You're like, you know what, I can't handle this anymore. But it's right now, it's very important to go, okay, let me read more. Let me find out what's really going on so I can be engaged, so I can make a difference, hopefully, somehow, with all this what's going on right now in 2020.
Through this, I have really found that my faith has been the rock I can stand on. That and my husband, Peter. I knew almost 26 years ago when I married Peter that he was a wonderful man, but he has gone above and beyond. He's really found ways to make me smile. He'll bring home flowers, just randomly.
Wow.
He knows I love them.
That's like Bernie every week.
Make me smile. And I have read much more scripture through this than I usually do because I'm busy. Mm-hmm. I've got to go. I've got to go to somebody else's show. I've got to go, we're running all the time, like you did, all the time. So I'm learning to embrace the quiet, although I still don't love it maybe as much as I should. I am learning to embrace it, and I'm also learning more about God and trying to share that more with other people, not just keep it to myself. Right. It's really important to share the good things that we have in our lives, whatever they are. The good things need.
Yes. Well, and that's beautifully put. And I will kind of like tag on to that, is that the most wonderful time of my life was my Texas granny and taking me to Pentecostal church, almost all black church, and have everybody coming over, who's this precious little one, and getting up and singing. So, you know how I sound good at karaoke? That's where it came from. Right? Amazing grace, how sweet.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. Amen. All right. Well, guys, I want to thank again my wonderful, wonderful guest, Maija Di Giorgio. Thank you. She's at Michael Ashton, and also Deborah Bertling. I think it was a great show. Enjoyed having you on. And please check us out. And please follow us on YouTube. Subscribe. Laughing Through It. Because we need laughter now more than ever.
Right.
Good night.
Good night.
I'd like to propose a toast. Here's to the COVID-19. Everybody cry. Clad in our PJs all day, speaking only in low sighs. Off to the porch, then to the kitchen, an hourly task, and looking grim, 'cause we've been sitting, making a mask. Is everyone wearing a mask? I'll drink to that. And here's to the girls who play smart. Aren't they so cute? Rushing to their podcast to learn how to cook or make fine art with fruit. Another long, exhausting day, losing too many dollars. An online class, a Broadway play, perhaps a piece of Mahler's. I'll drink to that. And one for Mahler. Here's to the girls who play wife. Aren't they too much? Not keeping house and fetching all day about quarantined life. The ones who follow the rules and keep up with the homeschool, too busy to know that they're cool. Aren't they a gem? I'll drink to them. Let's all drink to them. watch, aren't they the best? When they get depressed, it's a bottle of wine, plus a little jest. Another meme to post online, another brilliant singer, another reason not to move, another vodka stinger. I'll drink to that. And here's to the girls in the know, everybody tries. Look into their page and you'll see what they show. Everybody dies. A toast to the invincible most, the quarantine perfecting the boast. Let's hear it for the ladies who host. Everybody rise.